Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Rob Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is the Bucs won!
Yeah.
That's what day it is.
The Bucs victory party.
Bucs victory day. Need to put that in our calendar. We got that one locked up. Woo,
as we thought.
Baby.
And I just want to point out that my score prediction was 31-20.
Oh, so close.
So
what was
close.
it, 31-17?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
that is sweet. My prediction was 45-10 because I was angry.
Yeah.
And honestly, we should have been 45-10. We let them come back. And that's an issue I do have with this game. Now we stomped them. We beat them down. It was elbows. It was flying from the top ring. It was hitting them with chairs. They couldn't do anything on us unless we let them, which we did, and that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
That we let them. I don't know if we were playing prevent or whatever, but everything underneath was open.
Christian McCaffrey. Oh, he did better than I. Actually, he didn't do as good as I thought he did. He had 59 yards. I mean, last season
Rushing?
he
left in the fourth quarter. Too.
Right. But last year, 2 games combined, he had 69 yards.
Well, that means we're going to hold him to 20 yards next time. Y'all can't do nothing against us. Mm-mm. This is Tampa Bay Buccaneers we're talking about here. Tom Brady. And Rob Gronkowski had 0 catches. It was disappointing.
Well, he had that one that he was interfered, right? One target.
Yeah. There. We had this problem last year where we had a great tight end stable and we didn't use them effectively. I complained about that quite a bit. And I feel the same way this year.
Yeah.
With Godwin being out, we should have used the tight ends more. And Gronkowski is doing great blocking. We are getting some good blocking going on with our tight ends. Gronkowski mainly.
To that end, O.J. Howard had 1 reception for 11 yards.
Yeah, see, that's
of 3 targets. He did have 3 targets, so.
That's just not, I don't know.
Especially the caliber of tight end that we have.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Kittle and Ertz and all these guys. They got one good tight end. They just beat the heck out of them. It's like every play. Boom, boom, boom. Tight end, And you're playing against these squads with weak linebackers, which when you get tight ends that do well, it's usually against linebackers. That's who covers tight ends. And the Carolina Panthers they're basically all rookie linebackers. I think they got 1 veteran linebacker.
Yeah, that Tahir Whitehead.
No, it was the other guy. Another guy. Who are their linebackers?
I don't have their.
You don't have it pulled up?
No.
Anyhow, they got a weak linebacker going. They got a weak everything.
Yeah.
They
had the infographic from last week that they had like 16 missed tackles on defense, and that was the 2nd in the league.
Yeah, and when we watched the game, we've watched it 3 times, I think, from last week, the Carolina game. Molly pointed out, said, these guys can't tackle. Mm-hmm. I don't think we utilized that enough. I'm going to complain a little bit about our play calling. I think that we're too stuck in Arians' offense. Now, Jameis Winston did great in this offense. I mean, he marched the ball down the field, and, it'd be, march, score. March, turnover, pick 6. March, score. But we moved the ball down the field. And, this offense is predicated on that. It's just like Cutter's offense. We faced a team that they just don't know how to tackle. They're just not a good tackling team. And you saw with Fournette, he just ran the ball. Just ran it. They couldn't tackle him. And, we should have done more of that, but instead we like the big chunk plays, the 15-yard plays. That's what we shoot for, the big passing plays. Arians is a passing guy. I feel like, it gets a little old. It gets a little stale, and we definitely saw it in the third quarter, a little bit in the second quarter where, they were stopping us. We couldn't get the ball down the field, and we didn't adjust. Everybody talks about
Adjustments.
Yeah, we never adjust. It's always the same thing every time. And I think we should have done a lot more screen passes and getting the ball in the backs of runners, because Carolina they're not that great tacklers. They're just not that good at it. But we didn't capitalize on that. We don't play as strategically as I like, but we won.
Hey, it did the job. Let's talk about some good stuff.
That's yeah.
So
we got the bad stuff out of the way. That's all the bad I'm going to say.
Ralph, and it does. You do have a point, because total yards, Carolina had 427 to our 339.
Are you serious?
Yes, they almost beat us by 100 yards.
Wow.
In so many metrics. I mean, passing, they had 340 yards to our 217.
And we shut them down in the first quarter. All the way up until the second half of the second quarter, we shut them down. I mean, they couldn't do anything. And then we started playing this weird defense. It was almost like a prevent. We were doing 4 guys on the line of scrimmage. And, they were getting all this underneath stuff and just able to move the ball down the field effectively. Yeah.
And what's so crazy is that consistently, and when we did the podcast Instant Reactions last season, I would do the same thing. I pull up the stats, the box score on ESPN, and you kind of see where each team stacks up. And there were so many games where it's we were dead even in every metric but turnovers. And that's kind of the same. I mean, they did kill us in yardage, but here it's the turnovers. I mean, they had 4 turnovers to our 2. They beat us in time of possession.
They had 4 turnovers?
They committed 4 turnovers.
Okay. I was like, what?
We committed to.
Sense,
okay, sorry. I'm glad you brought that up, because I would not think that would be confusing. I'd probably confuse a lot of people. And their time of possession, they had 34 minutes and 32 seconds.
What?
I know. Isn't that insane?
At the second half, we were beating them by 3 minutes in time of possession.
No,
that means in the first half. So the second half, they gained 6 minutes in time of possession on us. Holy crap!
We ended the game with 25 minutes of the possession.
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
I did not know that.
And
we were killing them in time of possession in the first half.
And here's a metric that is infinitely improved from last week. Penalties. The Carolina Panthers had 9 for 77 yards. We only had 5 for 37 yards. That's incredible.
Okay, now I want to direct everybody to the last podcast, because I don't want you to miss that. We had no holding calls in the last game. You know how many holding calls we had in this game? 1. And it came in the... oh my goodness, late in the game, late in the game. I've got it. Oh, you know what? That's last week's notes.
Oh, get it together, Ralph.
I was like, you know what? Atlanta Falcons lost. We're going to talk to that. 10-18 in the fourth quarter. 10-18 in the fourth quarter was the first holding call, and that was against Carolina. So we've gone 2 games without any holding calls on us, but we went a game and 3.5 quarters without any holding calls against the defense. Now, I saw 3 calls that should have been holding in this game. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it. We'll see in the game film. But there's something going on with that. There's something going on with this holding.
Maybe the league is not enforcing them.
Yeah, there's something. And it's going to woe to the team that doesn't figure this out. Yeah. So you were bringing up penalties. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yes, we did great on our penalties. We were a little bit more disciplined, but I did not like the second half or the second quarter, the last part of it, all the way up until the fourth quarter. Although we did great, we held them to, what was it? These notes.
Need your glasses too.
I need to be a little bit more prepared. Oh, no, it was us. Yeah, about midway through the second quarter, all the way through the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, we sucked. We did not play good football. We had 18 total yards in the third quarter.
Wow.
Yeah. With 3 possessions? Wow. Going into the fourth quarter. We had 2 possessions in the third quarter and then a possession. In the fourth quarter, we had 18 yards. Yeah, that was bad.
Which they only got 7 points in the third quarter. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Right. But we did. We totally changed our defense. It was very strange. Very strange. I mean, our defensive coordinator is very good. He's very strategic, and he throws a lot of weird stuff out there. We talked about this when we hired him, that we're going to see a lot of weird stuff from him, and we do. We see a lot of weird stuff. There was a lot of dropbacks again with Barrett, JPP, a lot of strange calls. Vita Vea dropped back, which I think is.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
He can jump like 3 inches.
I can understand
Don't do it.
trying to be tricky with your defense, but got to be a
There's a
little
line.
bit effective. Yeah, he ain't gonna knock any passes down unless you throw it right at him. He's not defending shit. So we got a lot of strange calls in that quarter, and we totally changed our defense at that time because we were up by 3 scores. So it was a prevent type. We were really draining the clock, I felt, but we were allowing them to march down the field, and eventually they'd score. Don't like that. But yeah, we were held to 18 yards by our offense. I don't like that either. Offense has got to start clicking. I felt like we took our foot off the brakes.
Off the gas?
Off the gas. We put our foot on the gas. I don't know how to drive a stick. Not true. We took our foot off the gas. We were killing it. I mean, we were just beating the mess out of these guys. And they're not a good football team.
No.
They're not a good football team. They're totally new. Everything's new from top to bottom.
Rebuild.
Yeah, totally new. We should have done a lot better. I felt like the first quarter and a half, and the fourth quarter, that's us. And if we would have done that through the, third quarter, I just felt like we just kind of went, okay, we're just going to kind of bleed the clock out a little bit and let them do their thing. And I don't like that. I wanted to see a 45-10 game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm still angry about last week.
We should have taken it out on the Panthers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. No, I agree with you. And I mean, how many games have we seen as Buccaneers fans where you're up by 21 and then you still lose? Like every Buccaneers
Not as
fan.
big as the Falcons. How about the Falcons?
I mean, come on, guys.
What do y'all do?
They got beat 40-39. Was that the final score?
Oh my god.
Something like that.
Yes, that's onside kick. If you didn't watch the game, Dallas kicked an onside kick. They were down by 2, 37-35, I think. Can't remember. And they kicked an onside kick, and all the Falcons guys sat there and watched it roll across the 10-yard line. Weird to say. None of the Dallas guys blocked the Falcons guys. And then it rolled across the 10-yard line, and the Dallas guy just jumped on the ball. Very undisciplined.
It was so bad.
Wow.
Like, what are you doing?
It's almost like they can't not blow a lead. You got this dynamic offense out there that could do all this woo, 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 woo. And, they play some entertaining football, but when it comes down to it, they're like,
and then lose.
We don't know how to win. Which I'm very thankful for. Dallas.
Good job.
I got a Dallas friend who I immediately sent him a text in big, large cap letters with all kinds of exclamation points and emojis. I was like, Dallas.
Yes.
Thank you. So all we need now is the Saints to lose tonight against the Raiders.
Come on.
Man,
Come on, NFL.
I know. We can sweeten up the Saints there, handing them a bunch of easy. Whatever. That's all right. We got Carolina week 2. So.
It was a good game.
Yes, it was.
Thankfully.
Yes. It was windy as hell.
So windy.
Windy. I was very impressed with how both quarterbacks performed in their passing. They threw some good balls, both of them. I mean, you would see there was a lot of inaccuracy, but as windy it was, I mean, it was like hurricane winds almost.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was at the beginning of the game, the
The uprights.
The uprights were twisted and leaning to the left.
I don't think they ever fixed that because they
That
showed.
helped our kicker.
I know. Well, they showed Ryan Suckup, I think, the extra point at the end of the game. And it was still slanted.
Really?
I thought so. Look that way to me. But
Yeah. I don't know. How do you fix that? I mean, you have to stop the game and get a construction crew out there or whatever. But yeah, it was real tilted. Whitehead, great game. Our defense, great game. Except, and I'm going to say this: Vita Vea and Shaquille Barrett. Now, Shaquille, I understand because they can have him playing a very different role this year, which I don't like. I'm not going to lie, I don't like it. I mean, Shaquille Barrett is a master technician at getting to the quarterback, and I don't mind him dropping back and playing different roles, but they're doing it way too much with him. Like I said, 13 times last week, dropping him back in coverage. No. 22% of the time he was on the field, he was in coverage. No.
But do you think also other teams have learned that they need to account for him?
Yeah, but you can't stop him. And I think he's disenfranchised. The way he's playing and what I'm seeing from him, I'm not seeing that trickiness.
I wonder if it has to do with his contract. He's upset he didn't get his contract.
Might be, yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I was a little annoyed with Devin White. Like, he missed a couple of tackles, I thought. But then I'm looking at the stat sheet, and he leads the team with 15 tackles today. So I'm going to cut him some slack.
15 tackles. Yeah, okay. Out of what, 60 plays?
I know.
That's...
Let me see. He had 15 tackles, 11 solo, a TFL, a pass defended, and a quarterback hit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else you can ask for.
I know.
You know?
Those are new Kuechly numbers right there.
I know. And here's what I love even more than this is Antoine Winfield was number 2 on the stat sheet. 11 tackles, 8 solo, 1 sack, and a quarterback hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone is talking about what a steal he was in the second round.
This
the
is
fact that we got him.
Yes, definitely. I mean, he might get Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
This is his second game in
I know,
the
where
NFL.
he's been like that.
And he's
Isn't that
playing
crazy?
at veteran level.
I know. And, all right, so let's talk about Jason Light because, yes, the man cannot find a kicker to save his life. But look what he does with defensive backs. I mean, the trade-off there, you're like...
But then again, he's picked like 75 defensive backs.
That's probably true.
Yeah. So, no. But you have noticed that the Jason Light chatter disappeared.
I know.
You know? I know a lot of people hate Jason Light. Or they did. You can't now.
I know. You can't argue
Tom
with his
Brady,
results.
The Ndamukong Suh,
Shaq
JPP,
Barrett.
Shaq Barrett, Gronkowski.
Right.
Oh, my God.
And then all the guys we drafted,
All the
Devin
guys
White.
we drafted, yeah. It was a good team.
I think it's over.
Good team.
Just stop.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, so I was very happy with the defense, especially those 5 sacks.
5 sacks. Yes.
5.
Good.
Antoine,
Against the veteran offensive line. They haven't played together a lot.
Right.
But, they're veterans. It's not a bunch of rookies out there.
Antoine Winfield had 1. Sue had 2. Hello, Sue.
Hello, Sue.
He led the team. JPP had 1 and Golston had 1.
Golston, I'm going to say this. Golston is our defensive star right now.
I love him.
Yes, he is playing like he's playing angry. He's playing mean and fast. Last week, he did great. This week, he did better. You got Winfield, you've got Whitehead, you've got Carlton Davis. They're doing outstanding. Excellent.
I know. These are people who I really feel like have thrived under this coaching staff and this defense. Yeah. Carlton Davis in particular has made so many strides.
Which is funny. Golston is our veteran. I know. He's our longest tenured defensive
This is
line
so
player.
weird because I still consider him like a young buck, like a young guy. And we were like, how many years has he been on the team? 7, 8? I don't even know. Yeah. It's been a lot.
It's been a long time.
He's had an extension already.
This is the first year he's been a starter.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Good for him too. Remember
so
when
good.
we got Sue and he was like following him around like a puppy dog? They were on the mic'd up thing.
Yeah, I loved it.
And Golston was like sitting next to Sue. He was like, I want to know everything that you know.
Yes. And he sits beside him on the bench. I love that. But not like on the
awesome.
bench. He sits at his feet with a helmet. I love it. I think it's great. I mean, and it's helped. Golston has elevated his game.
Yeah.
I've always liked him. He's been a great run stuffer, but he has really upped his game this year. Ronald Jones.
Ooh, I do want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Which I texted a relative last week, or actually 3 days ago. And they said, do I start Fournette? And I said, there is a chance that later in the season, he will take Rojo's job, but you just stash him.
Right.
I wouldn't start him because he's going to be too inconsistent, but definitely stash him. And he had 28 fantasy points today.
Yep.
He was our leading rusher.
Yep, I put Fournette on the bench and played Ronald Jones, and I'm going to lose my fantasy football league because of that. But I'm very happy about it. I think Fournette showed he's a starter.
I think so too. And
there it is.
I don't dislike Rojo.
He doesn't have the vision.
Yeah.
He's got the desire. He's got the oomph, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And he's got good feet, but he doesn't have that vision. Mm-hmm. Like I pointed out, you'll see it in the things I found interesting. He was running behind Tristan Wirfs one time, and he had the option to go left or right. And the way the defensive lineman that Wirfs was blocking, the way he was positioned, he should have went left. And you could tell he cut to the right and then went like he was going to go for the left. He couldn't make up his mind, ran right into the back of Tristan Wirfs. That's what you see with Ronald Jones a lot, just not the vision you want. Fournette, as we talked about in the podcast after watching game film on him, he's a master technician, elite level, being able to see, following his cues, noticing where to go, following his blockers, seeing how the defense is positioned. He does not run two players, which Ronald Jones has a habit of doing. He runs two defenders and tries to, bowl them over. Fournette doesn't do that. He tries to avoid everybody he can. And we saw quite a few plays today where that benefited us. So he is going to be the starter going from here forth.
Yes.
I'm not mad about it either.
He had 12 carries.
That one run, he had 29. It was
46 yard.
46 yard. When was the last time we had a 46-yard rush for a touchdown?
Probably Doug Martin.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Doug Martin, 2013.
Yeah.
Oh.
He had 103 yards on 12 carries and 2 touchdowns.
Yep, and I sat him on my bench. Guess who I'm starting next week?
Ronald Jones had 7 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. There you go. Feel kind of sad for Ronald Jones.
I
But at the
do.
same time, I want the Buccaneers to win.
Yeah. Oh, can we talk about Ali Marpet really quick?
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was getting called for that penalty.
I did too. He ran over. He was angry.
What was that, the first quarter?
Yes. Angry Ali.
I'm locking up. And I'm back. So it was a third down, and Shady got stopped, got tackled, and there was a late hit by the defender, which Ali Marpet took exception to. I think he's been hanging out with Jensen too long.
Going to Jensen's barbecue parties.
I know. And he got chippy. I thought the penalty was going to be on us, but
I did too. I didn't think it was a good penalty, good call on the late hit.
I thought it was great.
I'll take it, though.
It benefited the Buccaneers.
Yeah. But yeah, to see Marpet get chippy with somebody is a very, very
I know.
rare.
It's so unusual
rare.
for him. Really out of character.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see it.
Yeah, we had a lot of strip sacks, fumbles, interceptions. It was good to see our defense pulling off turnovers. I like that.
Yeah.
He loved turnovers. You don't like it's been too long where the offense has given over more turnovers. What do we have? How many turnovers do we have today? 2. One was an interception by Tom Brady, which I said, and I'm going to pull up the clip on this, that Tom Brady was going to throw more interceptions this year than he has in his whole career.
Receipts.
Ralph
got
pulling
receipts.
them up. Hey, when you win, trumpet that stuff. So he had an interception, and then we had a fumble, right?
Yeah, it was that handoff.
That's right, which I think was his fault. He fumbled the ball. It was a little hard coming out when he got it. It was in the shotgun, and it was bobbling in his hand, and he stuck it down, and he did not get it in Rojo's basket, and it hit him in the elbow. So I think it was Tom Brady's fault. Yeah.
Oh, what did you think about that pass that bounced off of Cyril Grayson's helmet? That was infuriating to me. I was like, if it hits your face, you should be catching it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. We have a
That
rule
was
in
on
the
him.
house where if it hits your hand, you should catch it.
You should catch it.
That's your fault. If it's hitting your hand, it's your fault if you don't
Yeah.
catch it. We're going to add the face because it's been 2 weeks in a row. Mike Evans last week got hit right in the face, went right through his hands, hit him in the face, bounced off his helmet. This one was just as bad. It was like a 40-yard pass.
Yes.
Beautiful bomb.
He
Right
had
there.
that
Hit
one.
him right in the helmet.
That was on him.
Yeah.
And, to his defense, we did just bring him up from the practice squad. So I don't know how much time he's had with Tom Brady.
I never even
but
heard of the guy.
he's a track star. And that's what Rondé Barber was talking about on the broadcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It says, here's what happens when you get a track star playing football.
Didn't we have that Olympian, too, that Dirk Cutter brought in that never...
Yeah.
He was going to have him do returns.
Was that Cutter?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a little bit before Cutter, but
Oh,
you might be
maybe.
right. You might be right.
Well, Cutter was probably the offensive coordinator. Well, that wouldn't matter.
That should be a fact check follow up.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember it right here.
Mike Evans had a beautiful big play. Can't remember how many yards it was.
He
like 40?
had a really good game. He was our top receiver. I think he had 100+ yards.
Okay. Yeah.
So he showed up today.
He did have one dropped pass. Too many dropped passes. I think there was 3.
I wonder if they're just not used to catching it
when
Tom
it's,
Brady yet.
when it's right in their hand. Yeah.
or in your face in the
Right.
case of Cyril Grayson. I just want to point out that Ralph has my sparkly Buccaneers koozie.
I got the girl koozie
The girl. So I'm like,
from the strip club.
I can't even, this one's like a wedding favor.
Every time she finds glitter on me, she's like, have you been to the strip club? And I blame this thing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I've been using your koozie.
Right. No one believes you.
I got all these dollar bills in my pocket. Sue did great. Had 2 sacks.
2 sacks.
Right? Yeah. Not to knock Gerald McCoy for being injured, but I think we can definitively say that it was a good trade-off, getting Sue for McCoy.
I think so.
I think so.
I agree.
Vita Vea has got to step up.
Yeah.
And he's just not playing with the ferociousness that I like to see from him.
Well, again, he did not have a training camp again. So is it that?
Yeah, right. Are we going to week 5 again?
I don't know.
Where he's going to start blowing it up.
Right.
Jamal Dean played well today. He had a great pass defense in the second quarter. Panthers tried to do a fake punt. We stopped that.
I love
was
that
beautiful.
one. That was so
very
good. And especially they only needed like 2 yards, right?
Yes. Yeah, not only did we recognize it was a fake punt, but we executed very well.
Yeah, I was really happy with special teams today because remember
You were
in the
worried about
preview
that.
yesterday, I was concerned about that, especially that Pharaoh Cooper, which he only had 1 return, which was not that great. So we kept him in check and we got the stop on the punt.
So here's what we'll say about that. Apparently the Raiders do not have good special teams. They can't because our special teams doesn't seem to be special, and we held Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Their special teams could not hold Pharaoh. New Orleans, that's a different story.
Fair to say.
Yeah. Dean had some great plays. I'm saying that because I'm a big Jamal Dean fan. I like the guy. He did not have a good week last week.
Yeah.
He had a good week this week.
Well,
so
and he came in after Carlton Davis got hurt.
And did well.
And apparently Carlton Davis's finger popped out of place and the training staff popped it back in. Ugh. Yuck.
Levante David played well. He punched the ball out, got a fumble for us. And he was third on the team for tackles. I think he had 9.
Mm-hmm.
How many solo? You got that?
I know. I don't have it pulled up anymore.
But then third quarter, kind of after that, Brady throws an interception, and we just kind of just went, okay. Mm-hmm. We were up, and I really felt defensively that we were just like, we'll just drain the clock out as much as we can. And I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that for a number of reasons. One, strategically, it makes sense. Strategically, you're like, that's exactly what you want to do. Make them move slowly down the field a little bit, and just drain that clock. Let them score. Who cares? But subjectively, I wanted to just.
Mm-hmm. I wanted that shutout.
Yes,
I did. I wanted a shutout.
And I wanted to just beat them silly all up and down the field and make them go home with their tail between their legs. They're kittens. So there you go. 2:42 in the third quarter, we got our first holding call that we've gotten all year, and it wasn't even on us. It was on Carolina. That was the only holding call of the game. Something weird going on. That is so weird. Very weird. Then in the fourth quarter, we had that huge pass, 39 yards. From Bridgewater to who was
DJ
it?
Moore?
DJ Moore. That I don't like to see that. We've done that 2 games in a row now where we're giving up, a couple of big plays.
Oh, I want to talk about that pass to Robbie Anderson where in the pocket, Shaquille Barrett threw whoever he was going up against. And then
just tossed him to the side.
Robbie Anderson caught it and JPP and I can't remember who else it was. They flipped him over. He did like a cartwheel. Yeah. So that was a fun play.
They actually made that part of the clips for I can't remember who it was, Fox or whatever, when they'd show the 2 games when they were like, coming back from commercial break, it'd be that play where you got JPP grabbing the guy in midair and just slamming him.
Legs all up in the air.
He was a little dude too. We didn't hold McCaffrey like I wanted, like we have.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. But he didn't do that bad. That well. So.
No, he didn't.
And he got hurt. He had that ankle injury. He did not come back from.
Yes. Carlton Davis had a nice interception in the fourth quarter. 10:05. About approximately 10:05. And then that's when we put Leonard Fournette in, and he just killed it. He killed it. He really put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
That was the end of the game with him.
How soul crushing was that touchdown that Shady McCoy missed?
Oh.
Did not catch, went right through his hands. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, beautiful play. And then just poor execution by the guys that's supposed to catch the ball.
So upsetting. Right through his hands. That's probably why he's a running back. But
it wouldn't surprise me if next week the lineup comes out and it's Leonard Fournette first, Ronald Jones second.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Which, I'm not knocking Shady. He did good for us. He got us a couple first downs and stuff like that. He's being what's the word?
He's filling the role.
Filling the role, yes. And he's getting 5 touches a game maybe, and but Fournette has shown, given the same opportunities against the same defense, he's going to pop off some plays. Ronald
Jones more productive. Yeah.
Which with running backs, that's what you want. You like consistency. You definitely, if you can get a running back that can get you 4 yards every time, you're going to go with that guy.
And that's where you get your workhorse running back.
Yeah. But that's generally more about the blocking. But then you got these guys that can pop off, 2-3 times a game. We haven't had that since
Doug Martin.
And you like it. It's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
exciting.
fun.
When Fournette broke that run, I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was going to make it. He ran between two guys, and they were right behind him. And I was like, that's how it always works. They're going to tackle him. And no, he like, whoop, right past him. I was like, whoa. When was the last time we seen that?
Oh, you know what? Rojo had a little hurdle. He
Mhm.
jumped over a guy.
Mhm.
That was fun. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Reminds me of LeGarrette Blount.
Garrett Blunt,
I know.
the hurdler.
Yep.
I've been watching football since the 70s, and I had seen maybe 5 hurdles
Mm-hmm.
from, we'll say 1970 to 2010. And then with LeGarrette Blount, I'd see 5 hurdles a game.
I know. He was
loved
so
it.
fun.
Oh,
I hated when we got rid of him.
You know, I was so mad at Shiano about that.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very poor decision. I think that that my evaluation of that proved true. I think LeGarrette Blount, he won 2 Super Bowls,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3. I'm not sure. He was always very, very entertaining running back. That's what you say about him. And when it comes down to it, that's what this is. This is entertainment. So Fournette did very well, and then McCoy drops that touchdown pass.
That was upsetting.
Yeah, Fournette had a 29-yard run that set us up for that. And I'm like, the Fournette catches the ball very well, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, why didn't we have Fournette out there catching the ball?
I know.
And then Suh had another sack when they got their next possession after our touchdown. We never relinquished the lead. We got the lead. We drove it up 3 scores. The closest they got was within 2. No,
I think one.
1.
They were touchdown down.
Briefly.
Ain't mad.
No, and I'm not going to lie. I was angry. When they were within 1, I'm pacing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Because it did kind of feel reminiscent of years past where you're like, are we seriously giving up a 21-point lead?
We're not the Falcons.
No.
The thing that aggravated me about it was I know we could just we could curb stomp these guys.
Yeah.
We could have run them into the ground and just beat them up. And we took our foot off the gas and let them get within 1 score. And I don't like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I did feel like at times the offense has not gelled yet, and that's
Definitely get that
fine.
feeling. Yeah.
You know, it is week 2. We have to give them a little bit of leeway. But they did make huge strides from last week. I mean, the penalties, that was huge, and special teams made a lot of progress, I thought. And the offense, you know, Mike Evans getting involved in the game, that was great. We didn't have Chris Godwin, and really his absence I didn't think was
really
felt.
notice it. Yeah.
Not to say that we don't love Chris, but you know, we have enough guys there to kind of fill the gap.
Yeah, Godwin's going to pop off this year. He's the
Absolutely.
guy that I think is going to really benefit under Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've talked about this in the podcast. He's the guy that can catch the ball and run with it,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he can take contact. I mean, you're not going to hit him and he's going to fall down, Scotty Miller, but he's going to benefit from Brady's ability to throw the ball on target while you're running.
Yeah.
I think Godwin's going to benefit from that the most.
So we'll be happy to have him back.
When he
but
comes back, yeah.
Thankfully, everyone else stepped up in his place.
Yeah, no, everybody played great. I really think we should have beat them down a little bit more just to make a statement.
Yeah.
And just to get it, one, to make me feel better.
And help your fantasy team,
That's right.
maybe?
I wrote my fantasy team off this year. It's a COVID year. I'm not.
You're opting out.
You know, I'm opting. You know, but have you noticed there's been no COVID outbreaks at all? None? Not a single one?
Last week, who was it? Ian Rappaport put out a tweet today and said that there were no positive tests today.
Yeah, we
On
were
Saturday,
worried
this
about
is the
that.
first
That's
time.
why our whole fantasy football league and us, we all decided, okay, this is kind of a throwaway year because you're going to have whole, you know, when one running back gets COVID, everybody's going to have to go into quarantine in that running back room. So, you know, you can't do your handcuffs and all that. So we decided, it's going to be a throwaway year, and none of that has applied. I want to add this too. Hats off to the NFL and the media guys for doing the sound. I can't tell the difference.
I know.
I really can't.
It is incredible. Like watching the broadcast, hearing the like they will, when the Bucs like lost the challenge, they pipe in the booing, and it was awesome. Yeah. It was so cool.
And the players have really, they've all in all their interviews, they say that it's like a practice. It feels like a practice. And I'm like, wow, that's how they practice. They're really playing how you should. Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. You practice like you play.
Yeah.
And I have noticed nothing about the performance of the guys. The only thing I could say, if you had a gun to my head, I would say physically, it's a little bit down, but not bad. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Yeah.
And I feel, they're not doing that little bit extra because the crowd's there or whatever. But no, I've been really impressed. Now, I do miss the crowd shots. Molly knows this when I watch boxing, UFC, and all that good stuff. I love to watch the crowds. I watch the crowds probably more than I watch the actual fights. And I'm the same. Whenever they pan to the crowds in the NFL, I will stop it and pause it. And I'll sit there and look at everybody. And I'll be like, oh, hey, look at this person and all that.
Ralph's a people watcher.
Very much a people watcher.
In general.
Yeah. And I miss that. Other than that, though, man, NFL's done a superb job with this. I don't feel like there's not a stadium full of people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a plus. But we were worried about the COVID stuff, but there's been no COVID whatsoever. It's not affected the NFL at all. Nobody has gotten sick from it. Not a single player has gotten sick from it.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So, hats off to the NFL for this, and let's just keep moving this forward. Mm-hmm. So you've got nobody in the stands, and we're beating up the Panthers. I mean, we're just stomping them. We beat the mess out of them in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like stepchildren. It was just like, shut up, go to your room.
No contest.
Yeah, it was really a bad beatdown. And then after that, we took our breaks off till the fourth quarter, took our breaks off.
Ralph can't drive.
Ralph been drinking. We took our gas off, and then the fourth quarter we went just enough to win. It's like, okay. Yeah. Shut up.
Are they just trying to make it exciting for us fans? Is that what it is?
You called that exciting? I was kind of sick to the stomach there for a little bit. I was like, what are we doing?
You love the drama, though.
I do. Yeah. I like that on-field drama. I don't like the rumor drama. Who said what about who? And is this going to split the locker room and all that? I mean, that's fun. I enjoy that too. Nowhere near as much as the on-the-field stuff. To me, that's what football is. That's where our entertainment value comes from. It's 30% at least.
Yeah.
Give me that.
That's true. But a good showing, a lot of improvement since last week. A lot to build on.
Yes. How much of that improvement was against a crappy team, though?
Possibly, and we'll find out more against the Broncos next week.
Going to be a good game. I think it's going to show us a lot. Arians hasn't played this Broncos team. He's played Carolina, even though it's a whole new team. He's played New Orleans, and we're going into Denver. The Lindsey might still be out, right? And Von Miller's out.
Yeah, and then one of their cornerbacks they just put on IR too.
Yeah, so they're hurt. They're limping. Mm-hmm. They're probably not going to win today. We're going to Denver, right?
Who did they play? They played already, right?
And there's going to be fans in the stand. Yes. Who did they play?
Yeah, but their fan capacity was like 7%. They're going to have 5,000 people there.
Right, but still, it's going to be fans. Yeah. Plus, they'll probably still be able to pump music in.
Yeah. No, they can't. It's either fans or you can pump noise.
5,000 fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Shaq Barrett will be going home. That's his. He played there 4 years.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be the first game against his home team. And, he's going to want to prove a point. And I need him to prove a point. I'm very upset with Shaq Barrett's play. He hasn't played bad, not by any stretch, but he's not putting forth the effort. I'm seeing him out there. He's not. And they do have him playing a different role, more so. And I want to see him do. I love Shaq. I was so impressed with him last year. And what I'm seeing from him this year is kind of like you said, you got the contract thing. It's almost like he's like, I'm going to do my job, but I'm not going to do any extra. God, I don't want to.
Well, I mean, he played the way that he did last year to get a contract, and you still can't get one. Like I could see where you'd be a little despondent about that.
Yeah, and he's getting no recognition. I mean, they didn't even have him ranked. Who was it? Pro Football Focus?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And some guys that drives them, especially like, I feel like players like JPP, that's kind of his personality. Like, he likes that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if he's underrated, it just doesn't bother him.
You know what Shaq needs to do?
What's that?
Get a new agent.
Maybe.
Yes. One thing I can tell you about Shaq Barrett, a great personality. He is entertaining as just an individual.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of those people that is fun to be around in the locker room and everything. He loves music, constantly got music playing. He likes to dance. He's always talking, I think if he got an agent, say Gerald McCoy's old agent, Cordon.
I think doesn't he have Drew Rosenhaus? Isn't that his current agent?
Really?
I think so.
Rosenhaus?
I think so. Fact check.
Yeah, okay. You might be right. I think I remember that during the off season. I was like, oh, Rosenhaus is going to get him an extension for sure. But Rosenhaus isn't a media guy. What Shaq needs to do is get out in front of the cameras and put his personality out there. He's got a great personality.
Yeah.
And when people attach the personality with his performance from last year, I think that would get him excited about performing now. I think he's really, and this is just pure 100% speculation. We have him playing a coverage role this year, much more so. Last week it was 22% of the time he was in coverage. That's not Shaq's thing. Mm-mm. It's fine to do 3 or 4 times a game just to discombobulate the offense, but man, not 1 out of every 5 times. That's just silly. And I think he's gotten kind of about that. And then he didn't get his contract extension, which means the team didn't recognize him as somebody worthy to, make a kerfuffle about. And then all these rankings come out, and the NFL itself is not recognizing him. So I think it seems to me like he's gotten despondent.
I can see that.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's not like he's over there pouting. I don't think he's just putting forth the effort he was last year.
Well, if there's no reward.
Yeah,
like
right.
You
exactly.
play the best season of your
matter.
career, and there's no reward to it.
You're the sack leader of the league, and
you can't even get a contract.
No recognition from anybody, even your own team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too. But then again, that's me adding speculation onto, seeing his performance and how they're using him. And it's just like, he had a couple decent plays this week. But I'm telling you, last year, man, he was just lighting it up every play. And this year, he's just kind of going through the motions, man. And honestly, I haven't seen him do anything. Nothing special. We saw that one play where he tossed that guy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been like, So, JPP is playing JPP. Vita has got to step up. He is playing he's playing almost like a wall, and that's not his thing. I mean, Vita's a push-forward guy, a very violent, aggressive, tossing guys around and just having fun out there, being strong. And he's not doing that this year.
I did see a few plays this game where he got some good push and was in. He forced Teddy Bridgewater to run out.
I hope I'll see on the film.
Yeah.
That
I noticed a couple of plays like that.
I noticed a couple of plays where they held him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Golston, bam, bam, bam. 2 games in a row, he has been the best guy on the line.
And you know what? He was one of those training camp warriors.
The underwear soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is playing really good. He's playing with a lot of fire. He's playing angry.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. We already talked about this, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah.
Because, you brought up that he is emulating Suh because Suh plays angry.
Mm-hmm.
Suh had a great game. If I had to rank our defense, and this is shocking for me to say, it would be very close tie between the linebackers and the secondary. Inside linebackers and secondary. But I would...
As bad or good?
No, good.
Okay.
It's number one.
Okay.
Oof, man, I want to say secondary. Going to give secondary the number one spot on our defense, and then our inside linebackers, and then our line. That shocks me. That totally shocks me. I thought this year for sure it would be our line would be number one.
Because they had such a good showing last year, and
Yeah.
the secondary didn't really have it together.
Yep. So step it up, defensive line.
That's what I'm saying. I think there were a lot of good things, a lot of things to build on, a lot of improvements from last week.
Definitely.
So I'm just
And it wasn't
happy.
It wasn't improvements where the quality of the team, the opponent mattered. It was just we didn't make as many mistakes. And we were in sync a little bit more. You could definitely tell there's the ways to go.
Yeah,
on
and
offense.
particularly like on the offense where you have like Cyril Grayson, the pass bounces off his helmet. Scotty Miller had one pass, I think, where it was like right through his hands.
And
McCoy is right through his hands. So there's a little bit where the receivers need to get on board or on the same page, but definitely room for improvement there. And again, we saw frustration from Tom Brady with that last year with his receivers at New England. So you hope that they can build that cohesion this year and gel.
They're going to get an earful tomorrow. I think Tom Brady's the kind of guy that he's going to be partying on the plane tonight. He's going to let everybody, because incentives matter.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a great plane ride back.
That's a home game.
Oh. Well, great after party.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all out there in the parking lot with Aryans.
I think
Love to
one
see
of them,
that.
I think somebody in the post-game press conferences, I want to say it was Carlton Davis, said that they all respect Tom Brady so much, so they're going to try to improve as much as they can, like, for him, for his benefit.
The next primetime game we have is going to be the most telling game, I think, because that's going to show our defense to me. The defensive guys, we've talked about this on the podcast, they've never gotten any recognition. Levante David, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, all these guys they're fantastic elite level players. They've never gotten any national recognition. Now here it is, we're going to get a national game coming up. And our defense knows the spotlight's going to be on us because of our offense. Tom Brady, Gronkowski. So they're going to want to make a name. They're going to be like, hey, y'all guys have been ignoring us forever. Here we are. So I think our next national game coming up is going to be huge. It's going to be it's going to be what tells who we are as a team. And that's going to be, let me see. Oh my gosh. It's not until, help me out here. What do you got?
Rob's got his calendar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have it.
Oh my gosh, we got 425. The 25th of October. Bucks Raiders? No. My bad. The October 8th, Bucks at Bears, 8:20 p.m.
Okay.
Between then, we've got Bucks at Broncos, 4:25. Yeah, which you could say it's a national game, but
Could be.
then we have Chargers at Bucks, 1 p.m. October 4th, and then 4 days later, we've got Bucks at Bears, 8:20 p.m. Now that's going to be the game where we're going to know where our defense stands, because those guys are going to play blood, snot, and tears. And if they don't, I'm going to be worried.
Oh, I think that they will.
Yeah.
I hope the Bears don't have fans.
I hope the Bears don't do like they did to Detroit week 1.
Oh my
We're going to let you be up 24 points and then come back and win the game.
They did the same thing this week, too. They were up 14-0 on the Packers.
In the first quarter, and you looked at me and you said, yeah.
That's what they did
Detroit's
last
going to
week.
lose this game, sure enough.
Poor Detroit. Typical Detroit.
You know what?
Like Atlanta.
Detroit can do certain things to my body parts that aren't appropriate to say.
Did you see Brett Favre was in the Bucs Stadium today?
How did Brett Favre get in the stadium?
Know.
He was
That's
like
some
in
bullshit.
the seats.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
He's Brett Favre. I think that's what it's about. And he was wearing a Tom Brady t-shirt.
Ooh,
it was
cool.
Tom as Bucko Bruce. Yeah.
So is Favre jumped in on this whole controversy about Brady and Arians.
Yeah, that was annoying.
And he took Brady's side.
Butt out, Brett.
Vociferously. If he's wearing a Tom Brady merchandise shirt.
And he showed up at the game where there's no other fans. Is he trying to make a point?
Are they coordinating? Are they working together?
Collusion. I don't think so. I think it's just he's Brett Favre and he can do what he wants in the NFL.
He's trying to ride that Tom Brady train.
Probably, yeah.
Hey, that's the train. I'm riding it. Choo choo, Tom Brady. Oh my God. I'll be in the caboose. I don't care. Give me a ticket. We got Tom Brady, man.
I know. Did you see that gif of him on the sideline?
Yeah.
Where he's like.
Well, you were going to cut it up. At first, you were like, he was like, oh, I like that face. And then somebody else tweeted it.
Yeah, thank God they did. I didn't have to do it.
You saved it.
It was awesome. But then he was pissed at the fumble. They caught him cussing on the sideline.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah. And they were like, you didn't need any rip reading for that. I mean, rip reading? Lip reading.
This is, the COVID haircuts are gone. I'm getting my haircut next week. I'm sick of this, man.
That was a Molly special right there.
I think you did great with the haircuts, but we just haven't cut it in a month.
2 months, I think. And your clippers broke
died
in the middle of it.
Yeah. COVID casualty. But this, I feel like I'm from Cobra Kai. I got the 80s haircut.
Cobra Kai.
I got the wings going. That's what they used to call it in the 80s, the wings. When you split it down the middle.
Like 70s?
Yeah, okay, 70s.
Didn't you have a school picture like that?
Yeah, all my school pictures were like this. What's that? All the dudes. Whoosh, wings. Andy Gibbs. Crazy cool medallions.
All right, let's wrap this up, Ralph. You got any finishing thoughts?
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Buccaneers, start beating guys into the ground because I don't want to be sweating it like I was in the third quarter.
It did make it fun, though. The ups, the downs, the highs, the lows.
After last week, this wasn't fun to feel this way. I was like, if we lose to the Panthers,
Ralph,
and they
you love
suck.
misery. Stop that.
So
you're a masochist. Come on.
Next week. Yeah, a little bit maybe. More of a sadist, probably.
You like the drama. It's just the drama. You love the drama.
I like the blood pumping, man. So I like my music. I like my music to pump my heart for me. Next week.
Well, mission accomplished. The Bucs did that today, didn't they? Come on.
Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about, but next week, Bucs at Broncos, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be a good game. It's out of division. We're going to see Bruce Arians going up against a team he hasn't played, and it's a crippled team. We should win this, but it is at Denver. It's always a hard place to play, just based on the oxygen levels. So that's going to be exciting. This week, my summation of it is we didn't beat them as bad as we should have. But I'm happy with the win.
It's a good win, and Atlanta got the crap beat out of it. Well,
yeah.
They gave up.
We didn't even talk about that.
20-point lead.
We were so excited about that. Yes. Atlanta got
embarrassed.
Atlanta got
what
Super
is their
Bowl.
aversion to 20-point leads? What is wrong with them? You know,
oh my God.
28-3. Give that up. Lose the Super Bowl.
Oh man, I'd hate to be an Atlanta fan.
I know.
For any number of reasons, but that being the main one.
I do relish in their misery. So
Do love it.
Sucks for you.
Love it. If I could, I'd kick them down while they're down in the face.
Always.
Yep. So anyhow, Bucks at Broncos next week, 4:25 p.m. If you want to get in touch with us, leave a comment down in the YouTubes, or you can reach us Twitter. Our handle is at the Bucks_Observer. You can go to the website. There's a whole bunch of places to get in touch with us. We do appreciate hearing from you. It's always Molly that handles all that.
It's me.
So there you go.
There we go.
All right. Any last words, Molly?
Go Bucks.
That caught me off guard. No, we got to do our outro.
All right.
Here we go.
No last
Ready?
words.
Drum roll, please. Until next time.
Go Bucks.